Hi! We are back with another video on adulting, and this time it's going to be about credit card for beginners here in the Philippines. It's like a credit card 101, pero it's not super detailed. I know I promised, or I kind of posted on Facebook about doing a Bisaya version of this, pero kay ang mga nakita na ko nga resources online kay English, especially this one, I am going to reference to points that are mentioned sa website ni MoneyMax PH. It's in English. So, I'll do my best para ma-translate na ko siya sa Bisaya or ma-explain na ko siya sa inyo ha in Bisaya. Now, having a credit card, especially in your early 20s, for me is really helpful in a lot of ways. And we will go into the details later on. Ani nga content, I think there are 5 important points, and first, that is knowing unsa man jud na ang credit card. What is a credit card? How does it work? And the advantages and disadvantages of having a credit card. And then credit card fees, unsa man jud ni ang mga balayran sa credit card. And lastly, paano should you decide nga magkuha og credit card, paano ta mag-apply o unsa ang mga requirements para ma-approve ta sa bank. And lastly, of course, my recommendation, pero obviously no, sa intro pa lang nako daan, I really am recommending for you to get a credit card. But later, ani nga video sa in the middle of this content, ma-realize ninyo nga nung strong akong point when I'm strong ko sa point na I think you should get a credit card. So now, without further ado, let's dive into the topic. First nga pangutana, o pinaka-basic nga pangutana, what is a credit card? Unsa ang credit card? Ang kani siya nga definition, nakita na ko siya sa internet, and basic nga definition na ginahatag sa almost tanan nga content creators there sa Philippines nga ako ang nakita. A credit card is a small plastic card that allows you to spend money via credit to pay for goods and services at local and international stores. It is one of the more flexible, more convenient, and safer alternative to cash and checks. So pasabot ana, kung sa Bisaya pa, mao ni siya ang pinaka-social nga pamaagi nga mag-utang. Kaya you don't have to like mo-ask og kwarta sa laing tao para mo imong gamiton nga ibayad sa tindahan, sa grocery store or anywhere nga naa kay gipalit. So ang kani siya, it's just a card nga of course na avail mo from the bank, and then mo na siya imong gamiton nga pangbayad. So maski wala kay kwarta, makabayad gihapon ka. Pero of course, bayaran jud japon na siya nimo. It's just that utang siya. The glamorous way to utang is through a credit card, through this plastic card. Pero how exactly does it work? Well, the process begins when the cashier tries to swipe your card sa ilahang terminal. They call it a terminal. Kanang machine nga naa sa gamay kay na siya nga machine nga i-swipe nila imong card. So diha na siya ga-work, and what it does is gina-transmit ang machine ang credit card information nimo sa bank, ang ginatawag ni nila nga their acquiring bank. And if that acquiring bank deems that your information or your credit card is valid, it will approve your purchase and add it to your overall credit. So ma-approve ang imuhang purchase. The cashier will now then print a receipt of the transaction, and then you will be asked to sign the receipt. By signing the receipt, you agree to pay the amount you owe to your issuing bank. So, ingunan ara siya kasimple. Ang imo namang issuing bank dayon will consolidate the credit card charges made into a statement and send it to you every month. Normally karon it's e-statements na lang. It gets sent to your email after sa imong cut-off date. And then kana siya nga sa sulod ang statement, dira nimo makita tanan nimo nga charges for that month. You can opt to pay just the minimum amount due, but dili gyud na siya advisable, no? Because if you do that, you will incur interest rates or charges. Ang pinakamaayo jud is bayaran nimo kung pila ang imuhang due at that time to avoid extra fees. The same process also applies when you provide to your credit card credentials to online shops. So dili lang ni siya sa physical store, pwede mo magamit ang imuhang credit card sa online shopping. O diba, delikado kayo kay pag gusto na jud kag swipe, no? It is this the concept falls sa bitong buy now, pay later. Palit nimo karon pero bayaran nimo puhon, if you will. So, unsa man gyud mga advantages aning credit card? As convenient as they come, credit cards are not for everyone. By itself, a credit card is not bad. It is how you use your credit card that affects your finances. Before you decide, consider the benefits and drawbacks when deciding whether to apply for a credit card or not. Kanisha, these are a few of the compelling reasons why I think, and MoneyMax thinks, you should get a credit card. Number one is, of course, convenience. Paying with a credit card is faster than paying with cash. No need to withdraw money from your ATM or look for loose change. Just swipe the card, sign the receipt, and the transaction is done. It's that easy. Nga ka simple. Card, swipe, sign, boom. Tapos na. Tapos wala pa kay daghan kayo nga bugat nga sinsilyo sa bag. And sunod is ang flexibility. With a credit card, you can make both online and in-store purchases. And you can also pay for items like appliances and furniture, gadgets on an installment plan. And in fact, it is actually advisable to pay using a credit card for expensive purchases. I have purchases nga gipaagi nako sa credit card because my issuing bank naa sila promo ba nga 0% installment. It is unlike home credit nga may mga hidden charges whatsoever. Basta makita na nimo sa store nga ga-support they're working with a bank or they're one of the bank's merchants and they offer 0% interest for usually basta mga furnitures, example, up to 12 months na siya nga 0% ang interest. So like example, ang fridge or ang ref nimo is 20,000 pesos ang cost niya. Normally kung i-home credit na nimo na mga pila mo end up na siya on total into like I don't know 22 or 24,000 pesos ang imuhang mabayaran sa usa ka tuig or sa 12 months. But with a credit card, kuan na siya, it's remains as is nga 20,000. Pero depende gyapon na siya sa credit card. But most credit cards, especially BDO and BPI yung mga credit cards, 0% installment basis na sila. So, mao na siya ang pinaka-nindot nga perks when it comes to using or having a credit card for large purchases. And of course, number 3 is security. Carrying a credit card is a lot safer than having cash on you. Even if your card got stolen, dali ra kaayo ma-block karon ang imong credit card because if you have your mobile app, nara na dito ang option nga i-deactivate nimo imong credit card or i-block nimo yung credit card kay nawala siya. It's that easy. So una siguro lisod because you have to call pa the bank and then tell them your horror story. Pero karon it's very accessible. You can just easily do it sa imuhang mobile application. And of course, very visible din ha ang mga transactions. Unsang sa diin nga store, unsay gipalit, pilang amount, time and date. So you can mas secure jud siya. Kaysa sa kung kwarta mo wala sa imuha day, wala na ginadayon ang imuhang kwarta, dili na pud na siya nimo makuan. Dili na siya nimo ma-retrieve. Mas lisod siya sa i-retrieve because there's no tracking. Number 4 nga advantage is the rewards. This I super have enjoyed this. The most exciting part of owning a credit card is earning reward points. These can be exchanged for perks like gift certificate and air miles. The banks also offer credit card promos such as discounts and freebies to their card holders. From my personal experience, ginatigom na ko akong rewards, gina-convert na ko siya into cash. It's actually for BPI because I have a BPI credit card. It's rewards points nga na-convert na ko siya into cash nga gigamit na ko pang bayad sa ako ang credit card. So, diba, nabalik ra pud sa ako Number 5 is funding emergencies. Using a credit card may not be the best option covering sudden expenses like medical bills, but it is extremely useful when something unexpected happens and you do not have enough cash on hand. So kung gipit na jud bitaw kayo ka and wala na jud kay mapakaduan, ang credit card, pwede na siya nimo gamiton jud sa pangbayad sa hospital. Syempre, depende sa imong credit limit, no? Pero, it's money that you don't have nga imuhang gi-spend for something nga you weren't, something that's uncalled for, or emergency. So, funding emergencies. Very, very strong point po ni siya on why you should have a credit card. And I think the strongest points amongst all is building your credit history. Kung sa iban nga lugar, ginatawag ni siya og credit score. Sa Philippines, ginatawag ni siya og credit history. If you have not established credit history yet, using a credit card correctly, quote-unquote, correctly, can help you build good credit records. This will help you qualify for better rates when applying for housing and car loans in the future. Kaya nanay inflow outflow sa cash ang imuhang account sa usa ka bank, mas credible ka and mas trusted, and most especially if you pay your bills on time. Amo to siya ang mga advantages of having a credit card. I'm really strong on the advantages part, pero of course, like any other thing on this planet, naapod ni siya disadvantages ang credit cards. Ang pinaka kuyaw nga disadvantage is the risk of overspending. Since you're borrowing money that you haven't earned yet, it can be tempting to spend more than you can afford. So you might fall into a credit card debt trap if you don't control your spending. Remember to always live within your limits. So this is just really a matter of discipline and self-awareness about how you are spending, and really having that, imposing that on yourself nga dapat responsible ka because you are accountable sa imuhang mga spending habits. So just that awareness, grabbing awareness. Ang second nga disadvantage is ang high interest rates. Compared to loans, credit cards have higher interest rates. And if you miss just one payment or carry an overdue balance, your monthly payments will increase. So to avoid paying interest, kailangan na siya nimo bayaran on time. And this goes back to not spending beyond your means. Because if it is beyond your mean, ang pasabot ana, ang imuhang outflow is more than your cash inflow. So dili jud ka ana makabayad dai kung sobra-sobraan mong ginagasto. So you have to be responsible in tracking your expenses and managing your expenses. Credit card is just a tool, but it is not responsible sa imuhang mga horror story sa pagpalit-palit. Next, ang disadvantage is ang penalty fee. Late payments and even exceeding your credit limit comes with penalties. And aside from dealing with the interest, you'll pay a bunch more of penalty fees. So always make sure to not miss a payment and avoid maxing out your credit. Next naman is the risk of fraud. If you're not careful when using your credit card, hackers might steal your personal information and use your card without even knowing it. So there is that risk. Moto siya mga risk lang gyud kanang overspending, interest rates, penalty fees, and the risk of frauds. Of which, tanan ni siya, if imuhang i-evaluate, all of these are very, very manageable risks. So we've talked about advantages and disadvantages. Now let's go to the credit card fees that you might want to know before deciding nga magkuha og credit card. Ang pinaka-common nga fee or madunggan jud nato nga fee dayon is the annual fee. Most credit card types in the Philippines, the charge of annual fee nga range from 300 pesos to 6,000 pesos. So annually, once a year. Generally, the higher the annual fee, the better the benefits. Premium cards charge higher fees because of their exclusive perks, like mga platinum cards. You get access to lounges and passes, VIP passes na kay mga nana. So, meaning po na mahal sad na kaayo imong annual fee. Some banks may also waive their fees for the first year, while others waive the annual fee for life. Daghan kay credit cards karon nga ga-advertise nga free for life, pero you have to read the provisions nga naada siya fine note sa dalom nga free for life if you meet like this much purchase in the next 60 days, blah blah blah, may mga amo na siya. In my case, ang sa ko ang credit card, BPI ni siya kanang pinaka basic, the Blue Mastercard. Wala, may annual fee siya nga 1,750 per year, pero each year ginatawagan ako ang bank and I ask them to waive the annual fee. So I have never paid an annual fee for my credit card. Upat na katuig karon because I always call them. And there was even once nga na-charge na siya, nabayaran na nako ang credit card, ang annual fee. Pero like months later, na-realize na ko nga, hala, basi pwede pa din ako ni siya makuan, ma-waive, maski na-charge og nabayaran na nako. And what I did is kitawagan na nako ang bangko and then they waived my annual fee and then gibalik nila ako ang gibayad. So it's just really a matter of calling your bank. Communication is key for this annual fee. Second type of fee is the finance charge. Finance charge is the interest added to your total credit when you fail to pay off your balance in the previous month. Monthly interest rates in the credit cards here sa Philippines range from 2% to 3.54%. You can avoid them by always paying your balance in full. The idea is pay your balance in full. Wala ni siya finance charge if you are able to pay on time. Sunod na charge is the late payment fee. So aside from the finance charge, you will be charged with an additional fee when you fail to pay your credit on time. Some cards may waive this for the first year, but after that, holders will be subject to a late fee. The rate ranges from 2.85 to 8% of the total amount due, or 300 to 750 pesos, whichever is higher. Ay kaupat nga fees over the limit fee. Ang atong credit card may ginatawag na siya og credit limit. Pasabot maulang na dira lang hasta ang pwede nimo mautang. However, naay instances nga example ang imong paliton is 40,000 pesos. Ang credit limit nimo is only 35,000 pesos. Nakasulay ko nga ingunan ang sitwasyon giala ning push through gihapon ang transaction ako with my credit card because naaman di ay na siya buffer pa may kung pila ang pwede nimo pila yung allowable amount nga mapahulam ni bank sa imuha nga wala ko kabalo paano na lagi compute, but anyway my credit limit was this, my purchase was this, pero ning push through ang transaction for some reason wala ko'y over the limit fee, but I have friends nga na tabo ni sila ha, pero gichargean sila og over the limit fee. So depende rang gyapon ni siya sa bank. Again, I'm using BPI Mastercard, Blue Mastercard. Dili ni siya sponsored ni BPI, pero so far sa akong 4 years of experience in using the service, wala pa ko'y mareklamo. And I highly recommend. Also, my bank accounts, other bank accounts is BPI. So, easy ra kayo mo bayad and it's very visible because I'm tracking it with one app. Ang sunod is ang cash advance fee. If you don't know this already, pwede po ka mag-cash advance sa imuhang credit card. So, meaning, pwede na siya nimo pwede na siya nimo masulod sa ATM nga machine and maka-withdraw ka og cash. So, pero subject na siya to fee. Usually, it's 5% of the amount nga imuhang i-withdraw. So, kung for example, 1,000 pesos ang imuhang i-cash advance, ang imuhang fee for that is 50 pesos. And, this transaction also has no grace period, so it needs to be paid off sa imuhang due date. Wala. Ang katong 5% is muna na siya ang processing fee or ang charge nila sa imuhang pag-cash advance. And the last type of fee that we have here is ang kaning foreign transaction fee. So when you use your credit card abroad, you will be charged with this fee, which ranges from 0.85% to 2.50% of the foreign transaction amount. MasterCard and Visa credit cards also impose an additional 1% assessment fee. Avoid this by choosing a credit card that doesn't charge foreign transaction fees. Now, I've also tried using my credit card overseas, and for some reason, wala man sila extra charges. My purchase was, of course, a different currency, pero pag check na ko sa akong billing statement, there wasn't any hidden charges at all. Siguro na wave na pod. Grabe jud si BPI. Hilig ko siya wave. Kaway. So, mo siya ang advantages, disadvantages, and as well as the fees, credit card fees that I think you should know. Sunod, so kung naka-decide na ka nga magkuha og credit card, knowing the latter, mauni siya ang general credit card qualifications. This is general sa Philippines, ha, dili ni siya specific to a bank. Generally lang jud. Okay, the first requirement is you have to be at least 21 years old. Second, you need to be a Filipino citizen or a foreigner living in the Philippines. Next is you have to have a home, office, or business location near a branch of the issuing bank. You need to have an active landline or mobile phone number and at least 1 year of regular employment status or at least 2 years of running a profitable business for self-employed individuals. So there is also the minimum gross annual income ranging from 120,000 pesos to 1 million pesos. So kinahanglan at least ang imong annual income is 120,000 pesos. Your credit limit will depend on your credit history. Na kung wala kay credit history, normally magdepend na siya sa imuhang minimum gross annual income. Ang credit card application requirements, kinahanglan po na siya of course the obvious, the application form. You will also need your valid ID bearing the credit card's applicant's photo and signature. So, for employed applicants, kinahanglan ang latest BIR Form 2136, Certificate of Employment, and your latest payslips of up to at least 3 months nga payslips. For self-employed applicants, latest BIR Form 1701 and your latest financial statements. For foreign residents, kinahanglan nila og Alien Certificate of Registration or their ACR card or their Immigrant Certificate of Registration and Work Permits. May siya ang mga credit card applications. So, paano mo mag-apply og credit card? There are 2 ways. Actually, yeah, tulo ka ways para mag-apply yung credit card. First is the in-person application. So, sa in-person application, pwede ka mo adto diretso sa bank para ma-apply sa credit card. Sometimes, naapod ni sila yung stalls nga naa sa mall. So, pwede pog ka-walk-in lang dito, ka-approach sa ilaha. Given nga na naka-atong mga requirements nga na-mention nato, gaina, pwede ka dito mo apply. And the most convenient way, and this is the way nga nag-apply ko sa akong credit card, is via an online application. It was just so easy. You just need to fill out the forms online and then submit the documents via mail. So, dali ra kayo siya ang process. I think it was less than 3 weeks na nakuha na dahil ako ang credit card. So, with all that hanash, with all that shebang, I really am recommending for you, 20-something out there to, or whatever age you're in, kung 30s, 40s, nga mag-apply ka og credit card. It is because I think this is the best time for us to start building our credit history, but in future, for larger credits, dali ta ma-approve for mga decisions nga ubrahon na to sa kinabuhi. It's like whether mo palita og mangutang ta og balay o salakyan, or kung gusto ta mag-start og business, mas okay nga mangutang sa bank, girl, kaysa sa mangutang sa tao. And this is one way of establishing a relationship with the bank, is by having a credit card. And when I say I'm recommending for you to buy a credit to get a credit card. Dili ni siya nga, ano lang, simple lang nga mag-credit card ka. Swipe lang ka. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of self-management. Kinanglan gina to i-manage itong kaugalingon because I also had times where like I overspent sa kung credit card kay lagi dili man gud nimo ma-feel nga gagasto ka og kwarta kay girl card siya girl dili lahi siya nga kaya maato ka sa counter ba nga mobayad ka og cash 1,000 ang bill murag sakit kaayo kay basta kita nimo ba nga nagasto ang kwarta pero kung credit card lang wala jud mura jud walay natabo because it's money that you have not earned yet, it's money that you don't have that you just spent. So kinanglan gini siya grabe nga discipline sa kaugalingon. And having a credit card also allows you to track your finances better. I tried to track my finances by listing it down or ibutang nako sa notes nako sa kuang phone pero kay tamaran manggugay. Oh my god, medyo hassle siya. So ang sa credit card statement ako 1 month na siya na nakalista na dito tanan kung asa ko gasto. And then true enough, I am evaluating always my expenses kung diin ko nagasto og murag dili kayo inchakto sobra-sobra ra. Makita na ko siya dayon og immediately I can proactively tell myself nga self chakto na ni self dili sa ka magastoan ni self for this month kay dako kay kag bayranan tungod last month kay mo nimong mga impulsiveness. So muna siya mura to unsa pa man ako ma-share wala ako kabalo kung gatan-aw mo ani nga video og naamoy mga duga nga pangutana i-leave lang sa comment section because I will try to get back to you sa comments para gaya na ko to bago ninyo mga question. But my ultimate recommendation is go na, kuha na credit card. Okay. Maura na for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As I'm recording this, we are at 250 subscribers. Our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers before the month ends. So I hope you'll stick around and I hope that you will you found value in a video enough to share it to your other kabisaya friends and the 20-somethings out there. I hope to see you guys in my next adulting video. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget, stay sane, kind, and confident. Bye!